Hello everyone, welcome to the Well of Curiosity and to Natural Disasters 101. Last time we looked towards the ocean to examine tsunamis. Now we are back on dry land to revisit something that we mentioned briefly in our volcanoes video, but this time we're going to talk about it in much greater detail. Lahars. A lahar is a volcanic mudflow, a violent, fast-moving slurry of water, ash, rock and other debris that surges down the flanks of a volcano and often along river valleys. Lahars can be hot or cold and resemble flowing, wet concrete. The term lahar is a Javanese word for the volcanic mudflows that often occur in that part of Indonesia. Lahars generally occur on or near tall, steep-sided stratovolcanoes around the world, such as those of the Aleutian Volcanic Arc in Alaska, the Cascade Range in the western United States, and on island nations in Southeast Asia such as Indonesia and the Philippines. Lahars can be created by a wide range of different scenarios that cause large quantities of water to mix with volcanic debris, either during an eruption or in the period of time that follows. These scenarios include eruptions from water-filled craters, the melting of snow and ice on a volcano during an eruption, the running of pyroclastic flows into mountain lakes, torrential rainfall brought about by storms, and breakout floods from lakes dammed by volcanic material. The initial flow may be relatively small, but a lahar may grow in volume as it entrains and incorporates anything in its path: rocks, soil, vegetation, and even buildings and bridges. The flowing slurry may consume additional water through melting of snow and ice, or by engulfing river or lake water. Some lahars can grow to more than 10 times their initial size as they move downslope at speeds that can exceed 200 kilometers an hour and can cover huge distances, capable of extending more than 80 kilometers from the volcano itself. Large lahars can be brutal, crushing, abrading, burying and carrying away almost anything in their path. Buildings and valuable land may be partially or completely buried. These deposits can congeal quickly, making it incredibly difficult for anybody trapped in them to escape. By destroying bridges and roads, lahars can also trap people in areas vulnerable to other hazardous volcanic activity, especially if the lahars are too deep, too soft, or too hot to cross. In the weeks and months that follow a volcanic eruption, the erosion and transportation of loose deposits from these mudflows can lead to severe flooding in areas far downstream from a volcano. Some of the world's volcanoes have been identified as a source of large historic lahars and a potential source of future ones. Scientists have been examining both the behaviour of mudflows and the regions in which they may happen to assess the areas most at risk. To help protect the populations that live in these areas, automated systems are being installed to detect the arrival and passage of debris flows, with alarm systems to warn people to evacuate to higher ground. Such a system has been installed at Mount Rainier in the United States, where historic mudflows have been particularly catastrophic and whose massive glaciers could spell trouble in the years to come. Now that we have had an overview of lahars, let's take a look at a particular example. Some of the most deadly lahars in recorded history followed an eruption of the Nevado del Ruiz volcano in Colombia in November 1985. Pyroclastic flows interacted with the extensive glaciers that covered the volcano's summit, triggering massive slurries of mud that surged downslope. Heavy rain had recently fallen over the whole region, meaning the Lahars were able to take in enormous amounts of additional water and rocky debris from river channels as they made their way downhill, increasing their volume and momentum. The worst hit area was the town of Armero, where more than 23,000 people were either drowned or asphyxiated by the mud, with the damage estimated at $7.7 billion. Today, a Lahar warning system is in operation in the region. Hopefully this video has been useful in giving an insight into Lahars. We will continue to explore the natural disasters that our Earth can unleash in future episodes, but for now, stay curious and I'll see you next time.